Okay, so here is something you guys need to see about work. Okay, so remember the equation we kind of gave like this, okay? But this theta is between the force and the distance, right? So the only way I would really do that is, say if you have like a force coming in like this and a distance like this, right? And then say that's 30 or something. The only part of the force that's in the same direction is this like fx component, right? So then the fx component would be f cosine theta, that's that, and then times the distance traveled, right? So this cosine theta purpose is to make sure that these are parallel, right? These have to be parallel, either facing the same way or exactly opposite ways, right? But they have to be along the same line, okay? Personally, I don't like to do that, right? I like to just sort of look at it, figure out the component, and then do it, and not just blindly plug it into this, which is, I think, what some of you guys did on the quiz, okay? So the way it got confusing is on the quiz, right, we had this, okay, and then you have your friction force is this way and your distance is this way, okay, or opposite, depending on if it was up or down the hill, all right? So when we write it, like we'd write like US minus work equals UG or something, right? Say that it started down here, you know, was fired and ended up here, right? When you write in this minus work, you're already doing FD cos 180, right? Because this cosine 180, from where your D is to where your friction is, that's 180, right? That's going to be the -1. That's why this is negative, okay? So if you've written negative work, you've already preset that into it by thinking about it. You don't use that, okay? I would never use that personally at all. I would just figure it out like by looking at it, okay? Right? So this here is the angle between the force and the distance, all right? The problem came on the quiz that a lot of people, I think, that didn't really understand how this equation works. A lot of you guys put like cos 30 or cos 35 here, right, in this work equation, and also make it negative or whatever, right? This is not this. If there's anything here, it would be cos 180, which would turn this to a negative, okay? So that was a huge problem, and I don't really know why, okay? But that was a huge problem right here, all right? There is going to be a cosine term in that work, right? And I don't want to say too much, right? Because in this friction force, you got to figure out the mu Fn of that, okay? So there is going to be a cosine term in there, but some of you had two, right? You had like one for here, and then you tacked on like this random cosine 30 on the outside because of the equation. All right, so don't do that. Just don't do that. You already preset it here when you said those were opposite.